Bear, what are you doing now? Oh, go figure. Barry's tweeting. Hold on just a second. Go ahead and
I
finish
beg your
tweet.
pardon. I am not tweeting. I'll have you know I'm getting caught up on all the current events of the world.
Oh.
All the latest news stories are right here in my hot little hands.
You know, we do have a show to do. So what kind of news are you reading about?
Well, check this out. I know you don't follow football, but I do. But check this out. Ben
Really?
Roethlisberger.
Football news?
Ben Roethlisberger. Do you know
yeah.
who he is? He's
No.
the quarterback of the Steelers. Check this out. He lost multiple fingers in a 4th of July accident.
No way.
Yes, he did.
Did he really? He did not.
Yes, he did. It says so right here.
Online.
It says it online. And
So it
check
must
this
be
out.
true.
Hold on, this is even better. There was a dead Bigfoot confirmed in New Mexico. Confirmed!
You're reading the Inquirer, aren't
I'm
you?
not. I'm telling you, this is all true. And wait,
Facebook news.
this is not even Facebook, Delyn. You know, and one more. Check this out. There's so many great stories today.
Oh,
There's
of
a
course.
body of a waitress was pulled from the Clintons' burned out guest house.
Like the Clintons, like
Yes. Look, it's
So-
Bill and Hillary right there.
you know what? I think we're going to report on things like that. Maybe the news doesn't report accurately all the time or give the whole story.
Hey, but we do. What now?
It's time to start the show. right before the producer said go, I'm like, Barry, because I can see he's really on his phone this time.
Hello, everybody. My name is Barry Horvath, and this is Moving Forward TV, your local market update.
Hi, and I am Delyn Gaston. Thank you for joining us today. We have guests. I love when we have guests.
I know, because
And our friends and our peeps.
they are. They're here to bring us some fake news.
No, they're here to give us the truth because you know what?
What?
So, well, first let's introduce them. So this is Angel Cook from Leaders Insurance.
As though everybody does in the whole world doesn't know her.
And our queen, Chasco. Yay! We love our queen so much. And this is John McMenamin, and you know him as well because he's been on our shows as well. So
Oh, you don't love John?
I
You
love
only
John too.
Angel?
Yes.
Let's be clear now. Come on.
Yay!
Don't slight the guys.
He knows I love him. But so all of this stuff that's been going on lately with sinkholes is very sad. What happened,
What does that have to do with fake news, Delyn?
because they're confusing me. You know, I thought I had a pretty good handle on things because of people like
You mean
this
life
in my life.
general?
No, the whole, being in the mortgage industry in Florida,
Oh,
doing houses like
that's
this.
confusing right there in
Well,
itself.
no, but the thing is we do have some sinkholes in our community,
Actually-
in our area, in the whole Tampa Bay area. Florida is a peninsula, let's face it. However, the way the news was reporting it, what happened in Land O'Lakes,
Yeah,
it
that's
confused me.
devastating.
And so right away I'm like, this just didn't sound right to me, not from everything that I've learned from my peeps here.
Well,
So
for anybody that's been hiding under a rock and not, some people do avoid the news. There was two homes that were totally swallowed
Right.
in Pasco County just recently.
In Land
and,
O'Lakes.
and we feel for their families, and what happened in the entire neighborhood of what's going on over there.
Right.
But we, what Delyn is referring to, because sometimes I get confused when I listen to you. I think you're referring to the insurance aspect, maybe, of
because
the
he's a
sinkhole.
man.
Yeah, I know. And I
All
don't-
the girls out there, they understood
They got-
exactly what
they
I
knew
said
what I was talking about, yeah.
perfectly.
So anyway, we have some two wonderful guests who are experts in their field.
Absolutely.
One is in the insurance and has been for many years, our queen.
I
and,
know.
And of course John, who is on the other side. So we got both perspectives in the litigation side against the insurance company. So it's amazing you two can even speak right now and sit next to each other.
But they're good friends too.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
but I think it's great that they're here. We're going to get the inside scoop of their perspective on it. So,
So let's start first with, I want to start first with Angel because we were talking earlier. one of the things that the news was reporting that really confused me when they mentioned catastrophic ground collapse. And
Those homes
my-
were swallowed.
those homes, that was what I would call a
I mean, how much
catastrophic
more
ground.
You don't
catastrophic?
get more catastrophic than that.
Right?
Right.
But they were saying, somebody on the news had said that those homes were not covered, and they called catastrophic ground collapse a myth. Tell us, Angel, for those homes were covered, right? So
Well,
we can,
obviously, I'm not the agent for
Right.
either one of those homes. However, I do know that one of those homes, I know who the carrier is. Okay. The other home, I do not
She
know.
would tell you, but she'd have to kill you. All right.
Maybe not kill you, but here is it. What happens in the media is they take the worst case scenario of what could potentially happen, and that's what they're reporting on. So there are absolutely cases that there would be no coverage. It is, I don't want to say rare, but it's not the most common cases. So in a general insurance world, every homeowner's policy that I write that is with a standard admitted carrier in the state of Florida, and you would know if you're with a non-standard because you have to sign a form saying you're with an
okay.
excess
so
carrier.
and
people-
you would explain that to them.
And people,
And
so people
any
should pay,
agent should explain
so
that
people
to
should pay
them.
attention to the form they're signing.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
And
Do
your
not just
agent
sign where
should
the X
explain
is.
it.
Do
Can I
not
ask
just sign where
something?
the X is.
Can I-
Yes.
What does admitted mean?
Admitted means they participate in the catastrophic fund for the state of Florida.
Okay.
Should a catastrophic loss happen in the state of Florida, say a hurricane, and that their insurance company goes bankrupt, okay, and they cannot pay all the claims, the state of Florida catastrophic fund kicks in, and then they pick up those losses. Now, it sounds like it happens very easily. It's not a fast process, but that is the process. You always want to be, if you can be, with an admitted carrier.
So if they're
okay?
not admitted and
So-
they have a catastrophe,
Right.
if the insurance company happens to go
Belly
broke
up.
because of this huge payout,
Right.
then
Now, that is
state would
separate
kick
from
in.
the sinkhole that we're talking about, okay?
Okay.
Because it's catastrophic to that individual. It is not catastrophic to the state.
Okay.
We're talking catastrophic meaning a natural disaster that happens to many, many homes.
Right, the whole
And the
area.
insurance companies are saturated in that area.
Okay.
Okay, so that is what we're talking about.
Okay.
In that case, any standard carrier, they have a clause for catastrophic ground collapse, which means two things. That clause always has a to statement. It must be a sudden collapse of the ground, and the home must be deemed unlivable by a county official.
Both
so
of
the
those
home's
things.
laying in the ground.
Yes.
so the
I
home is-
always tell my insureds when they say, well, how do we know? I tell my insureds, if you make the front paper, it's catastrophic. When you get the yellow tape around your property,
Yeah, really.
it's catastrophic. When the news is out front of your house, it's catastrophic. What happens with that is, in general, I am not a licensed claims adjuster, my disclaimer. However, in general, insurance companies are just going to pay out 100% minus your deductible. They're walking away.
Wow. She's
Okay.
So
she's,
that's a tidbit.
she's passionate about this. Can you
She's
tell?
our expert, I know.
I know. She's like,
She answered every question before I had it.
I know. All right, but you know what? We got to take a break.
know,
And
already.
It went
See how
by so
fast this is?
quickly,
I
but
know.
we're going to get the other side of the coin when we get back.
This is my Newport Richie. 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 This is my Newport Richie.
we're back with attorney John McMenamin and the Queen, Angel Cook. So, and we got some great
And
information.
we're talking sinkholes.
We are
and
talking
how
sinkholes.
they affect us.
We're giving you
Because
the
it's
real check.
Right. With what's happened in Land O'Lakes, I know a lot of you out there are probably pretty confused too with some of the way the news was reporting things. We're getting the truth from Angel and John.
I think you're the only one that's
scary.
confused. You're
It
not-
was scary.
Listen.
Honestly, they were. No, Angel even said she had to turn it off.
Oh, at least you
because
didn't.
they were wrong.
I know.
And they were, the way they were reporting things was just wrong. So, and I thought so too from everything that I know. So that's why we wanted them on.
So do we know that these claims are going to be paid? Are they catastrophic? I mean, John, what's
Right.
your take on this? Angel's laughing over here. You can't get the camera on her quick. She's snickering.
No, I'm hoping not to sneeze.
See?
She's good.
Okay,
She's
focus
good.
just on
She's
John
good.
right now.
I know. All right, so Angel's
Yeah,
not
John,
here.
what do you think about what happened in Land O'Lakes and, the way the news is reporting it?
Well, depending on which news station you watch,
Right.
it's going to depend on which story you get. There's more and more information coming out each day. Now, whether or not the claims get paid, I can't say.
Right.
It's under normal circumstances, as Angel said, there usually should be coverage, but there could be a lot of other instances or issues here that are legal issues that might come up, such as the home had been repaired in the past. Who knows what those things will bring up?
Which one of those houses it was. So how is that going to affect?
There
their
could,
claim,
there
either
could
one
be
of
an
you.
effect simply because the house had been repaired with underpins, which does not, and of course I'm not an engineer, but underpins does not fix any sinkhole
His
problem.
disclaimer.
My disclaimer.
We both have disclaimers.
It's designed to support the home and stabilize the home itself. It doesn't do anything to stabilize the ground, which is where the sinkhole problem occurs. So even if the house was pinned, there could be an issue with the pins actually collapsing because there's no lateral support if that sinkhole
So-
takes the soil away.
So wait, all right, so you got a sinkhole, underpinning. I'm being logical here because I've never had a sinkhole.
Explain what that is, because some
Is that
people
just
don't
like
know.
a beam goes underneath the houses, under the foundation? And then grout, I would assume they pour a bunch of concrete in to make it solid. Is that,
Great question.
that's my simple explanation, am I right?
Yes. The simplest
he
way to
thinks I'm
describe
right.
this.
John, you need to be on the show every week.
Okay. Even things out. The easiest way
You're
to
out.
describe this
You go.
is simply that underpinning is a process where they support the home on pilings. They're driven down to the limestone. Think of a stilt home that's actually level with the ground. That's a simplified way to say it. Compaction grouting is where they pump pressurized concrete into the ground in hopes of densifying the soil so that the house will be supported on the soil it was built on, because that soil's now been compacted and made to be more solid, so it stays in place. So that's the difference between the grouting and the underpinning. The grouting can actually do things to solve the ground issues. However, the underpinning doesn't do anything for the ground. It's simply designed to stabilize the house itself. So the sinkhole activity that was there was still there after the underpinning process, whereas if they had grouted it, it's possible that they could have prevented an issue, but I have no information about the geology at all as to where the sinkhole problem actually was or any of those things.
Now, maybe this is a question for Angel, and I have heard, like I know somebody near and dear to me that had a sinkhole claim that they didn't receive enough money to do both the underpinning and grouting. So where does that put the insurance company? Do they not give a large enough payout maybe when there's a sinkhole?
How do they come up with the amount that
how
they
do they,
give,
how do
out
they
of
determine it?
curiosity?
Do you know that? I know you're not
Well,
in the claims department.
the insured has the right to get the estimates. So they get the estimates.
Oh, okay.
Generally speaking, you get 3 estimates. Okay, and each of those estimates tell you how they're going to do it, if they recommend pinning or grouting, and what have you. Now, there's always an initial investigation, which is through the claims adjuster from the insurance company. They say, this is what we recommend, and this is what we say needs to be done. Then you have these other companies come in and they do their estimates. It's ultimately up to the insureds on who they choose. They can choose who they want. Now, I have had insureds say, the insurance company's recommending grouting, but I really like this company and they're saying underpinning is better for me. So I'm going to go with this company and I'm going to do the underpinning. The insurance company will say, and they have the right to, and again, I'm not a licensed claims adjuster, so I'm not sure how they, I don't want to say devalue it, but how they negotiate, because you're doing something they don't recommend. So they don't want a warranty. If I fix your car and you tell me don't fix it like that, use this hose instead of that hose, and then it breaks,
Right.
is it really the mechanic's fault?
No.
So the insurance companies have to be the bad guy too and go, you're doing it the way we don't want you to do it. So we'll pay X amount, but we're not going to pay all of it because you're not doing what we would warranty.
Now, out of curiosity, on the flip side, what if the insurance company said, oh, no, you don't need grouting, you just need pinning and that's all you need? What happens then? Like,
I have to be honest, I've not seen where that happens. As far as generally, if a sinkhole, if they have the full sinkhole coverage, which means it allows for repairs, if they have that, generally I've only seen an insurance company want grouting.
So they
I
don't
haven't
necessarily want
really,
pinning.
I really haven't yet seen pinning. Now again, disclaimer is a lot of people can't afford full sinkhole coverage, so I don't see it as often. We're talking,
just gonna say that too.
5-6 years ago when most of my insureds had full sinkhole coverage, so they could afford, they would have coverage for repairs. Now, what has changed is insurance companies, should you have the full sinkhole coverage and you're able to have this repair, insurance companies are a lot more diligent now making sure you repair everything. So if you said there was a crack in that tile, you need to show that that tile was repaired during the repair.
Wow. All right. You know what? So much stuff to cover.
do we have to take a break already?
Yes. Did you miss the memo?
I did.
We only talk for a little while, then we shut up, and then we go to break. We'll be back. We'll
I
get
know.
more.
Okay.
We'll get more.
Okay.
We'll be right back after this. Okay, we're back with our wonderful guest talking about the lovely, what are we talking about, Angel?
The lovely queen?
Oh, yeah, the lovely queen. I
No, we're not
forgot.
talking
He's
about
saying
her.
the lovely queen.
Well, I wasn't going to say
That's
the
the
lovely,
lovely.
sinkholes because there's really
I
nothing
know.
lovely about sinkholes.
I know. That's why I
But-
shot in queen.
Yeah, there's nothing.
I saved you there.
Thank you. 'Cause, yeah, there was
All right,
nothing
so
good.
we're talking about sinkholes though, and the differences between catastrophic ground collapse, and actually that's what I was just about to ask before break there, Angel. catastrophic ground collapse and sinkhole coverage. Obviously, you would recommend sinkhole coverage, but it's very expensive, right?
It's very expensive, and just like any business, before you enter in to something, you want to make sure that it's a good risk, right? So in these high risk areas, what happens is the insurance companies, you can apply for sinkhole coverage. What will happen is the insurance company is going to want to do a home inspection. They're going to want to send somebody out. Some insurance companies pay 100% of that inspection. Some insurance companies share that cost. So the client has to pay half, the insurance company will pay half. Generally, the cost is $150. So depending on the company, you either pay $75 or you pay the full $150. It's non-refundable. They then send somebody out, and they look at your house. Your house could be absolutely perfect. No cracks, no nothing, looks great. However, not only do they look at your house, they look at the area around you. And again, each company is different. Some go a mile radius, some go 2 miles, some go more than 2 miles. We don't know, each insurance company is different again. So that report goes to the underwriter afterwards, and they look at it. So if within that mile radius, there has been a sinkhole investigation. That doesn't mean that the bottom line, the finality of that was it was a sinkhole. Sometimes the conclusion is it's not a sinkhole, but it doesn't matter. The result doesn't matter. It just means that there must be activity. Insurance companies not going to offer the full sinkhole coverage. So yes, you can apply for it. There's no guarantee if you will get it. If you are concerned, I tell insureds, then go and try and get it. Apply for it. We simply put in the request. You sign a request with the insurance company. You pay whatever the fee is, again, non-refundable, and you sign it saying, you're not going to get the money back. And in certain counties, it is very expensive. But look at Land O'Lakes. If it's a total loss, if you've paid an additional $3,000 a year for the coverage, I'll bet anybody would be happy that they paid that extra.
Sure.
But again, you have your catastrophic.
Right.
But if you want your house repaired, if there's ground settlement, and you want it repaired, the only way insurance company is going to repair that is if you have the full sinkhole endorsement.
John, probably the people next door.
Excuse me.
What?
Can I get one question in on
Sure,
this
go
show?
ahead.
Just one?
Go ahead.
Just one?
Go ahead.
All right, John, I want to talk to you.
Okay, Gary.
Because these two have been talking the whole time, and you and we're just kind of in our
I feel
own
left
world.
out.
I was going to text you and ask you a question because it would have been easier to get to. Good. But, All right, so let's just assume we don't have all of, I'm sorry, ladies. I'm really not.
Fair
but
enough.
Let's just assume, because we got to wrap up here.
Sure.
And there's so much information here.
We need to do another show.
Yeah, all right, we'll do another show next
Let's
week.
do another
okay?
show. Yes.
But let's just assume, we don't know all the facts about this Land O'Lakes case, but let's just assume that the insurance company didn't give them enough, okay? Because I know you fight those type claims, and they only paid for underpinning. They didn't give enough to do the grouting as well. Does that put the insurance company at some form of liability when that home totally collapses in the ground?
Generally, what we would see in a situation kind of like what happened in Land O'Lakes, it may be a little different than what you described. A lot of times, if they had recommended grouting, which is a general recommendation to repair a sinkhole, most insurance companies retain engineers who make a determination as to what the proper way to fix the problem is. You can't fix a sinkhole with underpins, so that would only be a portion of what would be a full repair. Now, grouting alone can stabilize a sinkhole, and that's what it's intended for. So underpins are very unlikely to be recommended unless there's some other soil condition. So the grouting is probably what was estimated when the initial recommendations were made. Whether or not that was the case, I don't know, but the underpins are much less expensive than the grouting in a lot of instances.
So is it safe to say that maybe the sinkhole repair company might recommend underpinning because it's more profitable than grout? Because the cost of concrete, we all know, is sky high.
Well, I don't
I know
know.
we don't. I mean, I'm not pointing any fingers.
Sure.
I'm just making a general assumption.
It would have a lot to do with what amount of money the homeowner has to work with. If the insurance company dictates what type of repair, which they have the opportunity to do, then there's really not a lot of options. But if they're given money, the homeowner's given money to decide on how to repair the house, obviously they're going to pick the most cost-effective way to do things
Okay.
to make sure that the house is okay. That doesn't always include the subsurface grouting. It could be just pinning.
Okay.
But that's just my opinion.
All right. See, we get to talk to you.
I have a pile of questions.
All right, listen, here's what we're going to do. If it's okay with
I have a
both of you,
pile.
we're going to have you back on next week's show, talk more about sinkholes because they're so exciting to talk about, really.
Yes.
They're really not, but, you know, it's a fact of life here in Florida. We live in Florida.
Right.
And Pasco is, if I'm not mistaken, one of the capitals of the world, but, you know, we have a beautiful...
Actually, no, John told me yesterday, nude.
No, it's not.
Tampa.
Tampa's worse. Wow. All right, let's talk about current events real quick,
See?
and we got to
Okay.
wrap up.
I know.
What do you got going on, Dylan?
So one of the things that we have coming up, everybody knows Bowling for Boobs is coming up, and
No,
it's
you
just.
went right to the future.
I did. Well,
Why don't
you
you just
asked
talk
me.
about next Easter for crying out loud?
Okay, so Bowling for Boobs is coming up on September 29th. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and WPBA does every year. This is going to be our 4th year, I think it is,
Yes.
of doing Bowling for Boobs. And one of the things that we're doing differently this year that I wanted to mention is we're doing an honor board or memory board. If you know someone who was affected by breast cancer, either a survivor or someone who has already passed, if you would like to be on our memory board or honor board, please reach out to us or go to Maria or WPBA.biz and find out some more information. And it's part of our fundraiser, and we're putting this big board up, and it's going to be, it's in our office at 2157 Springs Boulevard, and it's going to be here, and then we're going to bring it to the event as well.
And there's going to be a lot of people at the event again this year, and we're so happy. Carrabba's is going to be our food vendor again.
Right.
So it's going to be
Thank you, Carrabba's
awesome.
of Port
Yes,
Richey.
Carrabba's Port Richey is awesome. We got a raised bus trip coming up,
Yes.
August 11th. Did you skip by that?
Yeah.
Oh, what about Taste of Trinity?
I'm not a
Did you remember that?
baseball person.
You
Yeah,
like to
Taste of-
eat.
I know,
September
but
9th.
I wanted to say the honor board first because that starts
All right,
now.
that's
I
fine,
need to
that's
start
fine. All right,
gathering that
listen,
now.
listen.
Right, Angel? She
All right,
knows.
get us out on social media, share us, like us. We're on LinkedIn, Twitter, your Tumblr thing.
All the
Whatever it
social
is
medias.
you do, yeah. Instagram. Share us, like us, tweet us.
Thank you all for watching. We are today and every day.
Moving forward.
Oh, John
Thank
got it.
you.
I know this one.
See you next week. Bye.